The 7th of March 2017 marks one of the greatest love stories of all time and the start of a journey to happiness and never-ending love. Let me start you from the very beginning, keeping in mind this usually isn't how love stories start. After feeling lost for ages, scrolling through Tinder, I came across the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life, and I knew from that moment that I couldn't rely on luck in getting a match. I needed to find her. Using superb stalking skills, I was able to find your profile on Facebook and added you, hoping I would get a reply. Once you accepted, I knew you were different and I wanted to get to know you so bad, I retyped my first message to you about 6 times. Hey Taylor, respect to you. You look amazing. Nice to see some people still love hard work. When you replied at 9:56 AM, I had the biggest butterflies in my tummy and wanted to wait a while to message you back to try and play it cool. This leads to days of conversation, finding more and more about you every day, beginning to understand why I was so attracted to you from the start. From there, our conversations grew and fell. As work got busy and you got further into comp prep, it became harder to make any plans. But I never gave up, sending you morning messages like, "These flowers are for you to start your day in an amazing way." I also tried audios like, "Get under my sexy body." This definitely didn't work. So I would send you morning messages like, "Good morning. Each sunrise gives hope to your dreams and light to your plans. May you have an amazing day, as beautiful as yourself." Although I wouldn't get much from you, and sometimes nothing at all, I was never going to give up, as I knew there was something special that I needed to discover. After chasing you for 2 months, it was finally time to mix things up. I tried a different tactic and asked how to get my legs bigger. This led to conversations for weeks about the gym, until finally on the 2nd of June, when you're out in town with your girlfriend, you finally looked back and saw we've been talking for 3 months, with you giving me not much at all. My saving grace and your amazing girlfriend Mickey told you that if I was putting in that much effort, that I had to be a keeper and you needed to meet me. From there, our conversations seemed to grow, getting more in depth, as I think you realised there may be something. This is where it gets interesting. The months and months of persistence finally pays off. The 17th of June 2017, a date I will never forget. I was out doing open homes when you were texting me saying, "Let's catch up," which I didn't think would even eventuate. But just to be safe, and being that I was super sick with the man flu, I sent Mum down to the chemist to get me as many drugs as they would give her. Once I got home and started to get ready for dinner, I started to head out, getting nervous, wondering this would be the day I would finally meet you. Then texting all night when I was out at dinner. Finally, at 8:21 PM, you said you're on your way to my place and everything started to become real. It started to sink in that the girl I've been dreaming about for the last 4 months, I was finally going to meet. Jumping in the car, I raced home, calling Mum on the way and telling her to get the vaporizer out of my room, as I didn't want you to know I was sick. I remember how nervous I was pulling into the driveway to meet you, wondering if we would hit it off. Instantly, as soon as I saw you, I thought you're absolutely gorgeous. And from that moment we first hugged, I knew there was something special between us. From there, spending the next 4 hours sitting on my kitchen bench, just talking and getting to know you was amazing. I got to experience your beautiful personality, kind heart and nurturing nature. This is where I truly started to fall in love with you. Nervous as ever and wondering if I would do it, I finally got the courage to give you our first ever kiss on that bench, feeling that spark straight away. After our kiss, we finally told each other that we'd both been hiding the fact we had a cold and decided it would be great to share some cold and flu tablets, nasal spray and put that vaporizer back into the room. It's not the romance you see in movies, but it's ours, and I wouldn't change it for the world. The rest of the night isn't fit for a movie, but it was the most magical time I've ever had. I knew from that night I was in love with you, and the connection we had was something you dream of. The next day, you met my best mate, walking into our first actual date at the Three Monkeys Cafe. We were absolutely smitten and comfortable with each other. You would swear we'd been dating for years. After that perfect day of hanging out, you met my whole family, fitting right in. That afternoon, we deleted all dating apps and I asked you to be my girlfriend, as I knew you were the only girl for me. I wanted to show you how serious I was and announce it on social media, until I had to pull it down, as you were worried that your mum would freak out. From that day onwards, we started seeing each other every day and talking non-stop, falling more and more in love with every moment. Within 1 week, I finally told you that I loved you, even though I think you knew that from the first night we met. Then, not even 1 month later, I was boarding a plane to the Mentawais for a 2-week surf trip. 2 weeks with no phone reception at all and no way to contact the girl I fell in love with only 4 weeks earlier. Not knowing what you were thinking, I finally got back in my hotel after the trip and saw hundreds of messages and videos you sent me, confirming you were just as much in love with me as I was in love with you. Literally, within the week of getting back, I already started house hunting to buy my first house for us to move in together. After house hunting for 6 weeks, we finally purchased our dream home on the 13th of September 2017 at 235 Lawson Street, Hamilton South. Getting to finally move in on the 8th of December and start our life together. From there, the rest is history. We continue to go stronger and stronger every day, going through the great times and going through the bad times. But the difference was we knew we were perfect for each other, growing as a couple and changing to make sure our love was perfect. We enjoyed so many amazing holidays and memories that will last a lifetime. You have helped me become the man I've always wanted to be, being caring, loving, kind, and the gentleman you've always deserved. We now live in this amazing home, which I couldn't honestly ever picture us moving from. We've planned our 2 kids, Oakley and Maverick. We know where they'll be going to school. We even have our first dog picked out. But there's something missing, something I've wanted to ask you from the moment we first met.